Okay, hi. So today, with JohnGrace, they will introduce themselves. And today we are talking about pride. So, hi, how are you? What's your name and what do you do?
Hello, everyone. My name is JohnGrace. I am the coordinator for the Uganda Minority Shelters Consortium. We provide protection services to LGBT plus victims of violence and homelessness.
Awesome. So, our topic for today is pride. Um, so what has been your experience of pride in Uganda so far?
Pride in Uganda has been a complex and quite often a bittersweet experience. On one hand, of seeing the level of importance that is represented with resistance and visibility for a community that continues to face severe oppression. Um, with the Pride events in the past, we have had the opportunity to come together to celebrate our identities, and we have found some sense of belonging. And we've seen Pride events over the years become vital spaces for not just community building, but also being able to share resources and empower individuals. However, Pride events in Uganda historically have always been met with significant challenges. There have always been threats of police interference. We've had issues of harassment or even violence on the Pride events themselves. So the prevailing social stigma and the discriminatory laws have amplified the hostile environment, making it difficult for organizers to conduct it in a mainstream way compared to um, spaces or countries where this issue of homosexuality has been decriminalized. So organizers over there have become more creative, have become more resourceful. We've had virtual pride events, we've had physical pride events, just to ensure that the participants are at least safe. So most events are normally held in a discrete location or in order to avoid a lot of people being in one area. There'll be different micro events that are discreetly conducted in undisclosed locations, and security has always been a major concern. So despite this kind of difficulties and the challenges that we do face, we do acknowledge that there's a lot of resilience displayed at Pride. And I think for them to continue, we are continuously reminded that the power of unity, the power of the spirit of strength, the community is able to achieve, despite the different setbacks, even if it's more or less like our new chosen family. When you go to a Pride event, you're able to recognize the different people that are out there. We're able to access some support services. Some Pride events, for example, have held SRH services or health outreaches where we're able to access preventive and treatment services. And so despite the daily discrimination that we face, the Pride events, they do play a very important role in raising awareness and advocating for change, even if it's within our own community. So looking ahead, of course, my hope for the future of Pride in Uganda, depending on the timing and the context, believe we would want to see it evolve into a more open and inclusive celebration. Not just queer Ugandans, but also Ugandans also for the alliances or allies when we do not have any form of fear, any form of violence. Ideally, we would want to see Pride become a very powerful platform that demands for legal and social change. I would also want to see some kind of strategic pushing for concrete changes in our laws, because these laws are ours. They are always scapegoated and they try to work within the existing framework, but the strategic planning wouldn't be necessary for for the different activists, for the different public demonstrations. When the anti-rights movements, for example, conducted their anti-pride events or their homophobic events, we saw like the ones in Ginger. Why would such an event where that even printed some of the activists' faces on the banners, deeming them more susceptible to unsafety or insecurity incidents? So we would want to see definitely more inclusion. Would want to see more intersectional LGBT plus individuals. For example, I am among the sexual minorities living with disabilities, and I do know there are other sexual minorities out there that are living with disabilities. We have intersectional sex workers who are also in the LGBT community, so we would want to see them feel more represented, more welcomed. Or if we're talking about religion, for example, we want to see more Catholic queer Ugandans, more Muslim queer Ugandans, more Onican queer Ugandans, more Ugandan witchcraft queer Uganda. Well, they're there, and we come from different backgrounds. So them being able to find this kind of space, and we're able to not let anyone be out there be afraid, and for them to know that they are not alone. Would also want to see future Pride events emphasizing the issue of mental health. I think well-being is very essential. We would want to see some more resources and support services related to this integrated in the Pride events. It could be in the form of counseling, it could be in the form of peer support groups, or general actions on self-care. So in general, I would definitely envision Pride as some form of catalyst for community empowerment, so that wherever you are, as long as you're queer Ugandan, you are equipped with enough skills. You have the right resources to create the positive change you want to see. It's the leadership development programs. We would want to see more leaders in our community, because there's been a backlash or a decline in leadership where more leaders are exiting the country, and we're not seeing a significant replacement continuity for them in their absence. So we'd want to see more initiatives in Pride events that support, for example, economic independence, so that people do not have this whole mentality of Pride, people are just wasting money, that people at least are being supported in a way, one way or another. Maybe it's in display of talent, or it's a way for us to gather and be able to mention that, we have a doctor in this place, we have a Jewish maker in this place, we have an event organizer in this place. So it's, I think it's important to continue building the intersectional solidarity, for us to form and foster strong allies. We've seen allies that have been able to stand with us. Some have obviously given up on us, but we also have to appreciate the ones who continue to stand with us, and for also us to give back to the other intersectional movements. We should also be able to participate in their version of Pride. Comes to maybe women's rights, we should be there. We don't have to always come up with only queer issues. The issues of disability, we should be participating in issues of disability rights, or any other form of social justice causes that will be out there. As much as, of course, in some cases will be seen as some form of political movement, but we are not. These are human rights, and we're just saying that all people, wherever they are, whether they are queer or they are not, they have the right to justice and equality. So Pride would be playing a very, very major role to create more inclusive and accepting society, even in the face of immense challenges.
Right. Thank you so much. That was John, and was sharing about Pride and his experience. Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Bana. Today, we are once again talking about Pride and the history of Pride in Uganda. I'm in a very special guest today. They are called Isaac, but I'll let them introduce themselves and what they.
Thank you, Bana. My name is Isaac. My pronouns they, them. I am a trans activist and a human rights defender. Working